to invest, I first of all check who around that person has invested in that person's business. You might say your family members do not like you, or yes, I understand. Nigerian factor is there. Your village people do not like you, and the rest. But there is somebody around you who understands business, or you know that can invest, even though it's a little pain. So if there's nobody around you that can trust you enough with their own money, so why should I trust you with my own money? You have to be able to defend that.
Yes.
So again, will you invest in your own business? Will you invest in that idea that you think that somebody else should come and dump his entire funds? Will you give everything you have into that business? Some people have awesome ideas, but they are literally, we call them second class ideas. Second class ideas is more or less like they want you to fund that business, but they themselves are not willing to commit everything into that business. So the question right now is, how will I commit my own resources into a project, into a vision, into an entire idea, for either for startup or for scale up, when the founder or the visionary or the initiator of that project is not willing to commit to that project? So ask your neighbor again, are you willing to commit to that project?
Are you willing to commit to that project?
You don't come and just because you have connections. You see, Nigerians are so good at blaming people. You are blaming your uncle. Ah, my uncle is rich, oh, but my uncle doesn't want to invest in me. He likes to invest in people outside. My uncle doesn't want to invest in my business, but you see supporting other people's business. Your uncle is not stupid. He is investing his business where there is a future. The Bible says that for where your treasure is, so that's the place where your heart is too. Right?
Yes.
So where will I put my treasure? With you, when you yourself, you're not even a stable person. You see, investors are not looking for where to dump their own fund. No, 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 no. They're looking for people of character, people with integrity, people that understand where they are going to, people with vision to be able to put in their support to fund either monetarily or to fund you with resources. Because sometimes funding your business does not come just by money. Sometimes funding your business come with them giving you their resources or their network. There are people who you go and meet and they'll tell you, you know what, I'm not going to give you any money, but I'll give you access to my network as an equity in the part of that business. I remember when I was to start up the Kwati Microfinance Bank, and I went to meet one of my guys. Okay, guy, come and borrow me money. I needed quick funds. It's a huge funds to be able to lodge with CBN and the rest. I'm a guy who is literally borrowing me money and he's telling me like, you know what, wisdom, I'm not borrowing this money. I don't want an interest rate. I want you to give me equity in that bank. But I wanted his money. I actually did not want him to be on board, actually. So I told him, no, hold your money. So see, people sometimes are not just after the interest with their borrowing money. They want to be part of that business if they see that that business has a future. What? 1 year plan, 2 year plan, 5 year plan, 10 year plan, 20 years plan have you set for your business? Do you have a roadmap? Some of you just come up with businesses, have NGOs, that do not have structures. Everybody right now is a CEO. It's not a bad thing. But if you really want to be a CEO, you must understand that your company or your business needs a structure. You need to put in structures in that business. You want to run an NGO. What structures do you have in an NGO? You think the international IOCs will want to give you money without seeing that you have a structure? You think the government entities or embassies will want to fund you when they do not see a structure that can be able to absorb and run that project? What structure have you built for that business? What structure have you built for that NGO? It's not by feeling entitled. It's not by saying, "Oh, you know what, I deserve it, so definitely I must get it." Sometimes even if your uncle is the governor, they will not fund your projects, and you are there getting angry at your uncle for not accepting to fund your projects. Why should your uncle fund your projects when even you yourself will not even give yourself money to fund your own business? So this is not just about you just going to raise money. It's about you changing your mindset from the place of entitlement to the place of putting in the right structures before going to look for funds. It's about the place of you going to get the right resources. It's about you making sure that you understood the entire concept of your business. You've understood the entire concept of your NGO. You understood the entire concept of all that you need to put in place before going out to tell somebody to invest in you. Like I said, the easiest thing to do in business is getting investments. The easiest thing, I repeat again, the easiest thing to do in business is to get investments. People will invest in you the moment they see the light in you. And it doesn't really matter even if you are starting and nobody around you believes in you. What matters most is the fact that you are consistent.
Huh? Okay, from his side? Okay. All right, just a moment. Are we having some network issues? Hello? From his side? Okay. By the way, I hope we're getting something so far. Huh? All right, that's good. We'll get back online shortly. What did you say? By the way, if you have questions, advise you write them down. We'll give you the opportunity to ask your questions to him as well. Oh, okay, he's here actually. Just bring the laptop. Bring my laptop. Yeah. Thank you. Just drop it in. Thank you. Okay, join. Okay. All right. By the way, before he comes back, let me ask you guys some questions. What have you learned so far? Anybody wants to say something? I need the mic, please, so we can continue this workshop. Thank you. Who wants to speak first? Who wants to go first? Shall I point you? All right, good. Thank you.
There's a point that actually Mr. Wisdom Kwati noted when he was giving us his lecture. He said that there's some investors that you bring into your business, and then it will be as if they're like the cause of the failure of that your business, like investors and individuals. So how can somebody now know?
No, don't ask me question. I said, what's your feedback on what you have learned? So you see, you ask. When he comes back to ask you.
Okay, I'll ask him then. Okay, let me note this. All right. Okay, let me note this down. Say investors are looking for people with character,
yes,
integrity, vision, and also structure in what they're doing.
Yes. You got that right. You know, some people don't have integrity. Some people actually don't have integrity. Even they themselves, they don't have integrity to themselves. They can't even manage their own money. Talk less of managing somebody else's money. You get, and they're looking for investors. And sometimes investors give them money. I remember one guy. I'll tell you a story of one guy. The guy came to me and said that, Pastor, he needs 1.2 million naira for his business. He wants to do poultry business. So when he asked me this question, I asked him that, what have you done so far? Like, what have you done with like 50 chickens or 25 chickens? He now say that, Pastor, you don't understand. I have anointing. I have anointing. I say, I don't understand. You have anointing. To me, I don't have anointing. Say, you have anointing. He said, see, what I'm telling you sounds like a joke, right? You're laughing now. This is what the guy was actually telling me. Just beside me on the trees that we're sitting together. He said, I have anointing. He said that, he said that he has been doing the business with his neighbor, and no chicken has ever died before. That he goes there, he will just put on the chicken, that they were just selling. I told him, okay, since you say you have anointing, then I have anointing to get the money too, for the business. Because me, I can't work with anointing. Because that's all he had to bring on the table. That's all he had to bring on the table. And of course, all the people that gave him money for the business, all their money was anointed with the chickens, and that's how the money went back to heaven. All the ones that are looking for quick, I'm telling you, because sometimes people don't I mean, investors are looking for more than that. I asked him because I was trying to figure out what he has done because I know, like with 1.2 million, he can do like maybe up to 300 chickens. Now, then he can do up to 1,000 chickens, but now maybe 300 or so, 400 or more than that. So I was trying to see what have you done with 25 chickens. I wanted to understand what he has done so far with the little because he was working. So at least he will to raise, save money to invest, even if it's the small 50 chicken, 25 chicken. But this guy really had literally nothing at all to show. Nothing at all. The funny part was, even the chicken he was talking about, he was using somebody's zone chicken farm to do chicken inside. And the chicken farm was never owned by him. It was, I don't even know how, maybe it's the prayer partner for the business. Maybe that's all his role. Because I really don't understand. He didn't buy chicken. He just knew that he was just part of that. You get right? So those things are not going to work. If you're really going to succeed in business, it's not going to work.
Giving, because raising funds for a business is aka marketing yourself and marketing that the entirety of the business, the vision of the business, and what it stands for and what it's going to deliver. Every investor, every funder that is giving you money is looking at the value that they expect to get from you. It's not about just, oh, I want to just fund my business. Oh, so we will be looking at 14 ways to raise funds for your business, 14 ways to raise money for your business. But before we go to the 14 ways to raise money for a business, I beg you, you need to work on your mindset. You need to work on your mindset. You need what you want is special. What you are trying to do is special. You need to show the investor that you are strategic in your approach. You've thought about all the loopholes. You need to do your homework on that business, on that project. You can't come to an investor giving him some business plan or pitch deck that is halfway cooked. I call it the undone pitch deck. You come to an investor, and the investor is asking you what plans you have for this, and you're already scratching your head. You're not sure. And please, you see, nobody will tell you this. But if you are raising funds for your business, or you are raising funds for an NGO, don't be greedy. At least don't show the investor or don't show the project funder that you are greedy. It pisses a lot of investors off. The moment they see some sign or element of greed in you, the element of what I call it selfishness, then they believe that this guy, okay, so why do you need me? And at most also, you must be able to show something. You just don't come to an investor with just nothing and you want him to give you startup. That's why even the banks will ask you to bring 30% equity before they give you a loan. Even after giving them the collateral, they will ask you to give them 30% loan. Sorry, 30% equity before giving the loan. But there are banks that give other people money without even asking them for collateral. Literally, for the past few months, I've been getting a lot of offers from banks to fund my companies without even me giving them any collateral. That's because they've seen track record over time. They've seen performance. They know that, yeah, if we give this guy money, we are going to get it back. There is a track record. What track records do you have? Some of my records are not even with the same bank. They are with other banks. But because there is a track record somewhere, they know that, yes, this guy will still perform in this particular place. Because there is track record in my real estate, it means that my airline is going to perform. So people don't judge you based on you are a fine guy. Be there doing fine boy, be there doing fine girl. People don't invest in fine boy or invest in fine girl, even in the music industry. It's not about fan boy or fan girl. Sorry to use this, but it's portable fan boy. But people are having him as brand ambassadors, as brand ambassador. There are a lot of people, even in the music industry, that are not really the old fine boy, fine girl, but people are investing into them because they see potential in those people. Do people see potential in your business? Do you see potential in that business? You want an investor to come and invest in that business. So I'll go back to the 14 ways to raise money for your business. 14 ways to raise money for your business. One of the ways I will talk about is pre-sale. Pre-sale. Now, you want to start, let's say, Gary business, and you need £1 million to start up the Gary business. But do you know that just by pre-selling the Gary in advance, not that you are actually, you may not even have the Gary on ground, but for the fact that you posted the picture of how your Gary will look like and tell people to give you money to buy, maybe at a discounted rate. So if you need £1 million and your Gary, sorry, we'll be doing a lot of calculations here just to give you an idea. Um, you can open your calculator also with me. Are you with me, please, for Tosin? Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, then. So everybody, if you have your calculator there, please open your calculator. This is business. So business is everything about plus and minus. So now, let's assume you want to start up a Gary business, and your Gary business is one bag of Gary will cost about £1,000. Now, how many customers do you need to raise £1 million startup funding? Let's let's continue. That's 1 million divided by 1,000.
That's 1,000.
That's 1,000 customers.
Yes.
So if you start doing a pre-sale and you get 1,000 customers to buy your Gary at 1,000 naira, or let's even say you are buying this Gary, let's say the cost of production, packaging, and everything, your estimated cost is 600 or 500, but you are selling the Gary at the actual selling price of Gary is 1,000, right? Are you with me?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what if you give the first people that are investing in this pre-sale, Gary is supposed to sell for 1,200 naira or 1,300 naira. But if you are buying this Gary now, before my Gary comes in, I will give you the Gary at 1,000 naira. So there are people that will want to take on that offer. There are people that want to key into that offer to save that 300 naira that you are giving them as a discount. So you need, remember, you need 1,000 people to be able to have your funding to be able to bring in the Gary, and you give them timeline of delivery, realistic timeline, because people are looking at your integrity of meeting the point or meeting the expectations. Most times in business, what you plan is not every time that it happens. So it's good to give a longer projection than to overpromise and yet you are under delivering. It's better you under promise and over deliver. It gives you more edge in the future or a repeat of that business. So if you are looking at raising funds for your business, one of the aspects you need to raise funds for your business is pre-sale. Pre-sale. You don't just start up a business that you don't have customers. Even Apple, which is one of the most valued companies right now in the world, right now, does pre-sale for its iPhones, for its products. Before the Apple comes out, they must have sold 1 million pieces of iPhones. Sometimes even at the same price. It does not mean that it's all because Apple has used the name. No, you too can start small. You can start targeting, maybe, oh, let me start having a piece of 500. I have equity. Let's say you have 40% of the equity of that business. Just that. So you can raise 60% from pre-sale to be able to meet up the target funding for that business. Not necessary that you are expecting the entire 1,000 to buy. Oh, if you have good marketing strategy, good marketing implementation, and good sales management, then it's possible that you might have 1,000 or even more than 1,000 people that will want to buy into that gari. What if you want to sell hair, weave-ons, and the rest? In weave-on, I we were looking at the weave-on some time ago with Pastor Jennifer, and we were online. So I told her, okay, let's go to Alibaba. And we went to Alibaba. We saw that the weave-on from China were costing literally about $1, $5, $10. You know, so let's assume you want to start a weave-on business and you understand that, oh, the Yola market might not be able to afford the luxurious or expensive weave-on, either the bone straight or the what they call it, the coily weave-on and the rest, that expensive, the human hair. But you've seen that your market in Yola can only take cheap and affordable weave-ons. Now, what people do is what people call dropshipping in Nigeria. Dropshipping is you post the picture of those weave-ons on your platforms or on your market. Either you get a sample or you post the picture depending on the number of audience you have on your social platform. If you want to just be an online dropshipper, now everything that most dropshippers do is called pre-sale. They are selling the product before it even arrives. But most of these dropshippers do not even have the funding to be able to deliver or to be able to start their business fully. So what they do is that just post the weave-ons on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram, find a way to promote it, and that's why they tell you that, oh, if you order, you have to give us 3 days or 5 days to deliver. That's because they use your money, make the order, get the order, take out their profits, and deliver to you. Case closed. They make their profit, they've delivered to you as a customer, and they've used your money to raise funds or raise capital for the business, and they've been able to deliver. So you can do pre-sale, or in a more Nigerian term, you can just ship that product if you are a product driven company. Also, even for business, even for services to be delivered, you can be able to pre-sale your service. Let's assume you have a software product that you want to sell to a particular company, or you are selling to the general public. You can do a pre-sale subscription for that platform. So people can actually, oh, the platform per month is going to cost me 1,000 naira, not cost 1,000 naira. Let's assume, okay, let me give an example. I have a friend of mine who maybe you know him, Mustafa Vidado. We were talking about the guy from Medjugorje who does electric cars. And so he was in my office and talking about an idea, about nice, awesome idea about sports viewing and everything. And he needed us to raise funding for that product, the software product actually, where you can actually watch live Nigerian match on your platform and the rest. So you see, those kind of platforms, you can have pre-sale subscription for those platforms. People can be able to subscribe even before it comes into the market. As far as you have your roadmap, you have a delivery timeline, people are going to be subscribed, and you can use this particular platform or this particular channel of pre-sale or dropshipping to raise funding for your business. Number two, Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding. This is where you get your entire village people to be able to sow into your business. Not sowing. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Anything?
yes.
Yes. You see, the thing that the Nigerians do not understand about crowdfunding is that they believe everybody should come and donate money to them. Oshe ministry now. I mean, you want people to come and donate money for you because even ministers give value. Everybody that is donating, asking for donation, give value. You don't have value. You're not giving anybody value. You're not giving anybody anything, and you want people to just come and craft fun for you. Come and sow into my life. Come and invest in me. I'm the next big thing. What do they call it? Big thing. People want to even give or perform when you are giving them back value. You can be able to channel your business based on crowdfunding. You can say, okay, you know what? I want to give 40% equity to the general public that will invest in my business. So anybody that is giving, let's say, okay, let's go back to our calculator again. Right? Remember, we said we need 1,000 people and 1,000 naira to raise 1 million naira for our Gari business. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Now, it means that we need 1,000 crowdfunders that will be able to sow into our Gari business, right? Or to give into our Gari business for us to raise our initial capital. Now, remember, the first one was pre-sale. Pre-sale is that they are buying your products. This one, they are not buying your products. They are giving you their money so that you can be able to push the business for sometimes a return. They are not shareholders in your business, but they are giving you money. They are funding your business. You can put it maybe they are buying shares in your business, but not actual equity holders in CAC or anything. So it means that you need 1,000 crowdfunders to be able to raise 1 million naira for your Gari business. Now, if your cost estimation for Gari, the cost of production is 600 naira, are you with me?
Yes.
Now, you are having a profit margin after sales of 400 naira pre-tax profit. Pre-tax profit. So if you are saying that, okay, for my profits that I'm making, I will be giving out 50% of my profit to my investors or to my crowdfunders, or the community of crowdfunders that are coming to fund my business. Now, people, if I know that if I invest 1,000 naira, I'll be getting 50% of my 1,000 naira. Okay, let's do an estimate, right? Let's do a break analysis. Um, you are making 400 naira profit from your 600 naira investment, right? For 1,000 naira. Now, you're making about 40% of in terms of profit margin. Now, 40% in terms of profit margin, and you're giving 20%, that's 50% of the effort, or the 40%, that's 20%. So if I know that I'm investing 1,000 naira, and you are giving me per lot, a lot means that 1 million naira, that's per sheet, per turnover. 1 million naira turnover. You are giving me 20% of my investment. So meaning that you are giving me 200 naira on my 1,000 naira. There are people who are willing to accept that and invest in your business because they know that, oh, this business, I'll review this. It has a lot of potential. It has a lot of future. It has the person that is running the business. I've seen his commitment. I've seen his integrity. I've seen that someone that, yes, I can trust with my money. People will give you the money because they also want the extra profit in return. Because they know that Hedging their monies in the bank will not give them 20%. So people will give you their money in crowd fund. Now, crowd fund, it can be your village people. You can call the entire village people to come and crowd fund for you. Though I don't know about Nigerian village people, though. I'm just saying, your family members can be your crowdfunding community. You can make a list of 1,000 members of your family and begin to call them, selling your business to them. Call your uncle, call your auntie, call your brother, call your sister. Somebody can give you 10,000, somebody can give you 20,000, somebody can give you 50,000 because you are promising them some equity or returns on investment for that business.
That's nice.
So, if you are selling Guangzhou, that's cheap business. And people see the potential in that cheap business and you know to sell your ideas to your family members. Your family members, trust me, can be able to model out 50K, 20K, 40K, 80K, 100,000 naira, 200K, to be able to fund that business together as far as they see that yes, this person is someone that yes will give us a return back on investment. And trust me, when you give the first batch back, they will bring out more money for you.
That's
When you
right.
pay the second batch back and you ask them for more money, they will bring more money for you.
That's right.
That is another way to raise funding for your business. And even also for you to raise funding for your NGO also, crowdfunding is one of the best and easiest way. When people see that the project that you are doing is impactful and it aligns with their vision, it aligns with their purpose, it aligns with their drive, people will give you money to be able to actualize that project. You want to do water for people as an NGO. There are people that will give you money because they see that yes, these people need money. I remember one time, the first time I raised money on social media for somebody in Jos. He had a gas fire accident and the rest, right? And we were able to raise. The target then was to raise. I called the project Project 100. Now, with Project 100, people were raising huge amounts of because at that time we didn't know what to do because he needed money for surgery and we needed to raise money immediately for surgery. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
But can you hear me? So what we did for Project 100, we had a target of 1,000 people, so 10,000 people to raise 100 naira, to donate 100 naira for that person. And everybody, we were able to arrive, I think that year, that was about 7 years ago, we were able to raise 7 million naira in 1 week. 7 million naira in 1 week because people bought into the vision, people bought into what we were trying to achieve. Somebody was dying, somebody was sick. There are many people that have raised funding for their sick or loved ones from crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is one of the easiest way for you to raise funding and investment for your project as an NGO. So you need to note that. I'm trying to just rush to see if we can meet up with the 14 because of time and the rest.
I think
The next other thing
I
that
think
you
we
can
just take.
raise
Hello? Can you hear me?
funding for your business.
You can't hear me.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so I think we'll just take one or two more because we have a few people here that have questions for you as well, and we still have another class to go. So
All right then.
we'll take the
All
other
right,
10
sir.
later. I'll tell them how that's going to happen. All right, thank you.
That's fine then. All right, so I'll rush maybe three. The third one is personal assets. You can sell your property as your personal asset. You might want to sell your car to invest into your business if you don't want investors or you don't want to bring in people from outside. The fourth one is having angel investors to come and invest into your business. The angel investors will want to give equity from your business, want some shares, part of your, they want a piece of that business. And also there are strategic partners that also want to invest in your NGO or your business also. So they can be embassies, government, other international NGOs that want to invest, and then there are capital ventures also who also will want a piece of that business, if not the majority of the business sometimes, to want to invest in the business. And for other businesses that have other platforms, you can do as a pay as you go. There are some businesses that want to supply you something and tell you, okay, okay, be paying us, since you're a civil servant, be paying us small, small. There are times I will do sales of land. I will tell them to pay small, small. So pay as you go is one other way that can raise money for a business. And also, you can raise money for a business with investors, business incubation, and the list goes on. The last, which I'll just round up since there's no time, you can also access bank loans or loans from other institutions also. So raising money for a business, like I said, is as easy as it should be, or as easy as, but you need to have a plan. You need to understand the modus operandi of your business and how you should approach your business and what you need for that business. So thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed the session, and I'm willing and waiting to hear all your questions so I can answer them
All right. Thank
too.
you very much. All right, so we have a few people that have questions. So we're going to start with confidence. So you just come so I can see you in the camera. Please, can you tell us the position to stay so that you can see the person? I'm courage. Where should he stay so you can see him? Okay, here. All right, so you stay here and ask a question. Look the camera and ask. Can you hear us?
I check.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
All
you.
right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, sir, my question concerning your lecture, you said that there are some businesses some investors that you bring into your business that will be like a cause of failure to that business. Let me say maybe you find an investor that will invest in your business with a token. Then after the investment, then your business started going down. So my question is, how will you identify such individuals, organizations, or people that are like, they have bad omen towards business? Thank you, sir. Did you get the question, sir?
Well, it's easy for you. Yeah, okay. Can I answer now, or should I wait for all the questions?
Yes, go on, sir.
Okay, it's easy for you to actually know this. You see, sometimes we're a church, and then it depends on. Sometimes your spirit just tells you that this person, even from the tone of the person, you will know that this person literally is after something in your business. Do you know that your competition might be after investing? They can send somebody to invest in your business just to crash your business. So it's sometimes difficult to even know people's motives, but you just have to find a way. Somebody else who doesn't like you can use somebody to want to come and be part of the business, and maybe because you are desperate, the person you receive the person, and boom, the person begins to cause you a lot of trouble in your own business. So you need to be able to find ways that to identify who is the right person for that business. That's very, very important. Very, very key. Have I answered the question?
Yes, sir. That means we should go spiritual then. That's what we mean.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
Well,
nothing,
you
there's
can
no
go
nothing
spiritual
I want
or
to see.
the,
depending on what
the idea
you
here is
want
that
actually.
the idea here is that you need to be able to discern, right? You need to be able to discern the people you're dealing with. That's what he's trying to tell you, and it's very important, very, very important. Thank you very much. Who has
Thank you, sir.
another question? Okay, come here, quickly. By the way, hello everyone over there. Can you guys come to this side so we can have a few with you? This area, or few their seats also in the front here. You can feel them as well. It does be a part of us. You can feel the seat here. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My question is about starting up an NGO. I started up my own NGO 2021 named Sweat for Survival. So I met with this particular man. He was like asking me what was the, I don't know, what has been the step I've taken before starting the NGO. So I want to know if there are other procedures apart from registering with the CAC, then starting. I want to know if there's other steps. And for the investors, should I allow an investor, like someone that wants to invest in my business, determine what I should do with the money?
Sorry, come again. I didn't get the last part.
Okay, should I allow an investor determine what I should do the money he or she is giving me to invest on my business?
Is it that investor that owns the idea or the vision of that business?
No.
Exactly. So the investor shouldn't be able to tell you what or what you should do with money, except if you have laid down everything. But the investor might be able to advise on a better approach. Maybe he sees that your approach is going to be more expensive, and he might advise you, okay, you know what, let us do it this way. We are going to spend lesser in that approach. So they can give you that advice. Not that you tell it to change your entire plan or change your entire budget or anything for your business. You own the business, you run the vision, you know what you need to deliver on that vision. You see, you are the carrier of that vision, you're a carrier of that business. So it's sometimes only you that can be able to drive that business forward. So getting another person to tell you what and what to do to invest in a business sometimes doesn't even come at all.
Okay, for my first question about steps, are there steps and procedures to take to start an NGO apart from registering company?
Well, there are actually no much steps about starting an NGO apart from you having all your due registration with the government or government parastatal that's needed. Except if the part of the NGO might require you to have some other special registration. But most importantly is you outlining the plan, putting in the structure of your NGO. What structure do you have for your NGO? Who is responsible for what and who is responsible for what? What do you need to do when you want to raise funding? What have you had in place? What proposal or what is your NGO specific in? What's the focus of that NGO? What is the focus of the people in the NGO? Who are the people that are leading or serving as the board of advisory board or board of trustees in that NGO? Those things are very important to people who are going to give you money. You check out every single thing about your NGO. Those are some of the things that maybe I'm sure it's asking you that. Have you done those things? Have you been able to put your own house in order before starting the NGO?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
You're
Who's
welcome.
next? You raise your hand, right? Come forward.
All right. Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I have questions, sir. From your presentation earlier,
Okay.
you mentioned that your business must have a very long goal planned and written down whenever you're going to meet an investor in order to convince him to invest in your own business. Now, this is my question. In the place that, okay, you have a plan for your business and then it happens, you know somebody that is already in the business, an expert, let's say, in the business to an average level, and then the person agreed to partner with you into that business. And then you are just a beginner in that business, and then he's an expert in the business. And then where you are about to write your plan now, where should the aim of your plan be? Should it be toward which plan which you are aiming to, or should it be just the minimum, just around that cycle of you being in partnership business with that very person?
Well, I would say that your plan is very paramount because Sometimes being an expert does not mean that you are the visionary or the person is a visionary. Somebody might be an expert in an industry, but you can be the person that has the vision to change the entire direction of that industry. Before Steve Jobs, there were smartphones, but Steve Jobs came in with the iPhone and revolutionized the entire smartphone industry. Before Bill Gates, there were OS, but when the Windows came out, it revolutionized the entire software industry totally. So it is not about who is an expert in the thing, but who carries the vision. What is the plan for your vision? That is what you should focus on, and not about the expertise. Expertise are to guide you, but sometimes you need to be stubborn and follow the structure of that vision, because your vision, you might not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but you can just make adjustment to the wheel to make the wheel run faster. So
All right,
that's
sir.
it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Is there anyone again who has a question? All right, please step forward and ask.
Hello, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I have some questions. It's about venture capitalists and also angel investors. I noticed that most of those venture capitalists and angel investors online, most of them don't really invest in businesses that don't have enough these interactions, like sales and customers and all that. So if one wants to apply to a venture capitalist, an investor, with little traction, how can he position his business for investment? And also, question number 2 is, in Nigeria here, can we have a reliable venture capitalist and angel investor network where we can connect to those guys? Tell them about our business, investment.
Well, the first question is, if you know what somebody wants, why not give him what he wants so that he can invest? If I tell you I want traction from your business, I would want you to go and do your homework and get traction for your business. There are other things that you can do to raise pre-sale or pre-funds for your business, or they call them seed funding for that business. So you can do your funding in different ways. You can be able to start either by pre-sale, crowdfunding, or getting bootstrapping for your business to get traction. When you do that, then you can present your business to that angel investor who has told you, or who you know, based on seeing your traction, you will not even sell too much long story, but they will look for you. While in Nigeria, I'm not certain about so many of the angel investors network. I know that there's Lagos angel investors network, Abuja, but they are not. They are still at their FRC stage, so it's still not a stable angel investors network. You see, the word angel investor does not necessarily mean somebody who is registered as an angel investor. Anybody can be your angel investor who has the money to fund your business. You just need to meet the terms and the requirements of that person, basically.
Your 2 questions answered? The 2 are answered. Thank you. Any more? Do you have any more questions? All right, thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I don't know, I've been enjoying the session. Thank you for the privilege to ask a question.
Thank you.
I actually, when you were speaking, you spoke about track records as a catchy thing for investors. Assuming you are a newbie in the system and you want to scale through from idea stage to actually executing your own business, what are the process you go through?
So come again.
Okay. You spoke about track records when you were making your presentation, sir. So my question is like this: how do you scale through from idea stage to executing your project or your business in the terms of when we're looking at track records? Because you have an idea and you're selling your idea to investors, but you don't have track records because you have not yet tried that business, assuming you have the structures and everything balanced. So how do you now scale to execute?
I gave you the idea of the Gary business, right? People that are, remember, that are buying your Gary in pre-sale are not buying your Gary because they see your Gary, but because you sold the idea of the Gary to them. So they are buying your Gary. People that are investing or doing, giving, or be part of the crowdfunding community are not buying the actualized or investing to the actualized project or product, but because of the vision or the idea that you're giving them. So there are many ways that you can actually get funding for your Gary or for your idea, or whatever idea it is, yourself, without you having to. You use those ones that do not need track record, dual track record for the ones that need track record. I don't know if you understand. Can you hear me?
Do we have any more questions? All right, so there's a question from someone online who is watching, and the person is asking, can we say any investor that does not align with my values, missions, and visions means a bad investor for my business? Did
Come
you,
again, sorry, sir.
did you catch the question? Okay. What the person is asking online, Herimash, is asking that can we say any investor that does not align with my values, mission, and vision means a bad investor for my business?
Well, do you want to add salt into your tea? Because if somebody does not agree with you in the first place, or agree with your vision or your values and everything, it means that the person will cause you problems. So the bad investor, you are trying to, okay, let's assume you are trying to start a church and you have somebody who doesn't believe in Jesus Christ as your supporter, support your business. How does that align? The Bible says that can light and darkness align? So it's not going to be possible that having a bad investor who doesn't align, or having an investor who doesn't align with your ideas, your core values, your principles, to be part of to bring his money. It is the good and bad cannot be the light and darkness cannot just join. It's not possible. So it's bad for your business, it's bad for your everything. It will crumble you.
That's nice. Thank you very much for your time today. Now, by the way, well done, right? We're going to another session now. So get ready for this. That one's going to be more very, very nice. So can we just say thank you? Say thank you, sir, everybody. And we're going to say bye-bye to you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, everybody. You're
Honored
welcome.
to have you.
I hope you enjoy the session. Take care of
Yes, we
yourselves,
did.
please.
All right, good.
Bye.
So now
Bye.
we are about to begin the second session now with Blessing Mene. I'm not even know Blessing Mene. None of you? Okay, good. Good that none of you know him. Okay, so he's a mentor. Well, anyway, he will introduce himself. He's supposed to join us online today, but he's not able to. So he recorded some videos for us to watch and some presentations. And he also runs a fundraising academy where he teaches young people how to raise money for their business and enterprise. So now we're going to watch one of the classes. So after the introduction, then we'll have a video to watch. And after the videos, we'll do a quick hands-on before we go today. Is that okay? So please bear with us. Don't be in a hurry to go. Stay and get something that will help you. All right, thank you very much. We can go.
Hello, welcome to the Fundraising Academy. I am so excited to have you join us for this training program. My goal at the end of this program is that you will learn so much wisdom to take your ideas, your projects, your businesses, and your organization to the next level. And more importantly, you will gain the wisdom and courage to put the ideas that you learn here to work. Okay? So before we start, I want you to know about me. My name is Mene Blessing, and I play three roles. Number one, I am an entrepreneur and CEO. Number two, I am a mentor and advisor to others. And number three, I am an author and speaker. So, first of all, let me tell you about my life as an entrepreneur and CEO. I run a company called VETSAC, which I founded. At VETSAC, our vision is to transform agri-financing in Africa, and we do this by helping farms, agribusinesses, banks, and others to raise money 10 times faster compared to traditional methods. We're a venture-backed company, and we're supported by the likes of Tikidia, Catapult Africa, Seed Fund, and our ambition is to lend $1 billion over the next decade. Now, at my company, and by God's grace, we have won a number of grants and equity funding. And so, everything I will be teaching you today will be things that I have made happen, that I have learned practically and I have implemented practically. So, no theories here. And we've been fortunate to get grants and win grants from Google, GIZ, World Bank, Bayer Foundation, and other organizations. We've gotten equity financing from the likes of Catapult, Tikidia, and very recently we're excited about the next level of our organization. As a mentor and advisor, I have a life that I enjoy, and that resonates around uh, getting, like tremendous joy from supporting and mentoring young people, entrepreneurs, even older people who are running businesses, NGOs, but they just need some form of wisdom and understanding to shape their organization, to shape their fundraising journey. I really love providing my wisdom to these people, especially those people who are teachable and they can take these things and put them to work to get results. I love working with those type of people. And over the last couple of years, I've helped entrepreneurs win awards. I've helped entrepreneurs and people win fellowships, win grants, win equity funding. And I just listed a few of them here, like Grandmasters, which is being run by a fantastic young man. Love the organization a lot, and I've been serving on their board as an advisor. And then I have also done early stage investment, and one of the investments I'm particularly proud of is Lenco. Okay, now as a speaker and author, I have I would say that I really enjoy speaking on topics relating to agriculture, entrepreneurship, fundraising, technology, startups, faith, and grace. And I speak at different types of organizations, from business schools to conferences to workshops, even faith based programs. Okay, I speak there. And one of the programs I really love speaking at is at Innovate State Fair in Abuja, and I'm really delighted to play this role. I am also an author. I've written a book called The Winning Streak. In this book, I outline clearly step by step testimonies and principles on how I've raised funding for my organization, and I explain 40 secrets that you can learn from me and apply to your own life, business, and NGO. So, super excited to uh, have you today. And I will just quickly wrap up by talking about how grateful I am to God. Since I won my first international award, which was given to me by the Foster School of Business at the University of Washington about a decade ago, I'm so thankful to God because since then, every single year, I win an award. I win either a grant or some form of honor, whether I apply or not. And this is purely by God's grace, and I'm very thankful to God for this opportunity. So I'm sharing this testimony with you because my hope My aspiration, my goal is that by taking this course, you will change your story and you will find the courage to apply what you learn in this course to your business, to your non-profit. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers. Welcome to day 2 of the Fundraising Academy. Today I will be teaching you the basics, the foundations of fundraising. So let's start with a very important question.
Pause a moment.
What
Now,
is
pause a moment.
fundraising?
All right, so now,
To answer this question,
I said pause.
I want you to think about Mary. That is this beautiful baby you see in this picture and her parent.
All right, thank you.
For some of you on this call, you might already be.
All right, thank you. All right, so now he's going to be talking about the basics, basic one funding reason 101, right? And he's going to make it as simple as possible for you to understand. So pay attention, don't sleep. Hello, if you catch yourself sleepy, you better wake yourself up. You're an adult. Nobody's going to tap you or encourage you. Are you following what I'm telling you? So now he's going to talk about the basic of fundraising. So pay attention, and you'll get something that will really help you after today's session. Thank you.
Parents or will soon be parents, so I want you to think like a parent. Every parent
Can you
desires the best
rewind
for
it
their
from the
child.
start again?
They want their kids to have the best toys, go to the best schools, eat the best food, and just have a very good life. And because of this, when kids cry for toys, what do we do as welcome to day 2 of the Fundraising Academy. Today I will be teaching you the basics, the foundations of fundraising. So let's start with a very important question. What is fundraising? To answer this question, I want you to think about Mary. That is this beautiful baby you see in this picture and her parents. For some of you on this call, you might already be parents or will soon be parents, so I want you to think like a parent. Every parent desires the best for their child. They want their kids to have the best toys, go to the best schools, eat the best food, and just have a very good life. And because of this, when kids cry for toys, what do we do as parents? We buy them those toys. When kids ask for food, we go to the market, we prepare a nice dish, and give our babies the food that they deserve to become who they want to be. The same principle applies with fundraising. In the example I just gave, the child who cries for a toy or an apple is the applicant. That cry you see the baby make to the parents is the proposal. And you, the parent, you are the funder. And that money you take to the market to buy that nice looking toy or that tasty apple, think of that money as the grant or the donation that you're making. Within this framework, we can now define fundraising. Really, fundraising in a simplest sense is a process that is designed to attract the cash that you need to pay for a specific project. For children, it involves them crying as a process, and they cry because they want something, because that is their way of communicating to their funder, who is the parent. So, to recap, fundraising is a process designed to attract the capital, the resources that you need to finance, to pay for any project you wish to execute. Now, talking about fundraising. Successful fundraising is like successful parenting. It begins with clear communication. The baby cries for food, and the parents understand. clear communication is the foundation for successful fundraising. And in order to really understand funders, win grants, and all that, you need to be able to understand what we call the language of fundraising. Primarily, it's like learning French, learning Yoruba, Igbo, Latin, or Swahili, or any language at all, right? So I want to walk you through a number of key terms, keywords, their definitions, their meanings, and help you understand this language so that when somebody tells you to measure your social impact, you know exactly what they're talking about. Okay? And I'm going to teach you using a story and a case study. So I need you to pay attention and follow the example I wish to share with you. So our case study is plastic pollution. Now, I picked this particular case study because almost every city in Africa, in the US, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Ghana, or wherever you might be listening to me from, whether you're in Europe, every city experiences some form of plastic pollution. So, plastic pollution is a global problem that everybody can connect with. And primarily, what is plastic pollution? You move around your environment, you see somebody drinks um, water, and then they dispose of the plastics indiscriminately, right? So, what we see happening at the end of the day is that most of these plastics that has been disposed, they begin to constitute a mess in the environment. This mess leads to a number of problems, health issues. Before you know what is happening, most of these plastics becomes resident location or estates for rodents, for pets, mosquitoes and all types of insects. And before you know what is happening, those after they breed in these sites, they begin to enter the homes of people who live close by, and they constitute a health concern. After that, you would also observe, especially those of us from developing countries, you would observe that a lot of the times our drainages are blocked because we have these plastics in the gutters, in the drainages. And that causes a lot of problem. Not only does it lead to flooding when there is rain, it also causes issues of poor transportation because once there's rain, cars cannot move, bikes cannot move, the whole place is flooded, hotels shut down, restaurants are closed temporarily, people lose their income. Okay? And even worse, in some other locations, some of these plastics have to be burnt, and this contributes to smoke, a lot of health hazards. So when you think about this, like putting everything together, what I just described to you is what we define as social challenges: the issue of health, the issue of flooding, the issue of loss of income, because these are problems that affect the individuals within that particular community. Now, I also talked about the issue of people burning this waste, which pollutes the environment. Like scientists will always say, when you burn plastic, it contributes to CO2 emission, pollutes the atmosphere, contributes to a lot of health concern, and we call that environmental challenges. So whenever you hear people talk about social challenges, environmental challenges, this is what they're talking about. Okay, there is really nothing else. Now, imagine that you had to set up a campaign. You want people in your community to stop throwing plastic waste anyhow. You want them to, keep the plastic waste organized so that it can be taken to the right disposal sites. What you're doing in that case is what we call a campaign, right? Because a campaign is designed to achieve a specific goal, to make the environment look good, to solve social problems, and if you're able to do this not just yourself, but you're able to do this maybe with a friend or with a team, you've been able to create some form of structure. What you have done is that you have created what we call a cause. So campaigns are different from causes. So when you hear people say, or a funder asks you, tell us about your cause, they are talking about your organization and the campaigns that your organization runs. Okay? Now, so let's say you and your friends have come together, you've gone into the environment, you've packed all the dirt, gathered all the plastics in trash cans, you gather these things, and then maybe you sold them off or give them over to a recycling company. What you have actually just done is that you have created social impact. Yeah. So what type of social impact did you create? Number one, you clean the environment, right? That is an environmental impact. And because you clean the environment, there is going to be less occurrence of burning. Okay? So what you have just done is that you have reduced pollution as part of your environmental impact, right? Then, because the environment is now clean, you would observe that the drainages can now convey water, and because they can now convey water, people can move more freely, and therefore people can earn their income, okay, or they can earn more income during rainy season. So not only have you solved a big environmental issue, solved the health issue, but remember, you also employed friends, you employed your neighbors, you asked them to gather this waste, and they were paid for this waste, so in that way you've created jobs, for these people. So when you hear funders or anyone talk about social impact or environmental impact, don't be blown away. This is what they are talking about. They're talking about these basic facts. They're helping you to think about the good that you do through the lens of the environment, through the lens of the society. That's it in a nutshell. Now, remember that you had to earn some money in the course of recycling this plastic. A number of people who gather plastic bottles and all those kind of things. At the end of the day, they sell these plastic bottles to recycling companies. In doing that, you have generated income for yourself. You've generated income for your cause, and your campaign has been effective. Sometimes you might have cases where some corporate organizations might decide to partner with you, or some government agency might decide to partner with you just so that they can make the environment cleaner. Your ability to bring in income through the good that you create tells us about the financial sustainability of your cause or campaign. The financial sustainability really just has to do with your ability to generate income to sustain your expenses, and cover the cost of your campaign, or the operations of your cause. All right. That is what financial sustainability is. And because now you have been able to, generate income, you've been able to bring in some form of sponsorships, and maybe win some grants, you can now replicate your campaign in multiple cities. And that is what we call scaling your impact, because you're now moving from city A or community A to community B, community C, and all that. And so several times you hear funders ask you, what would you do if we gave you $50,000? You will tell them, oh, I'm going to clean two communities in my state. And then they would ask you, what would you do with $1 million? Then you then talk about how you're going to scale your impact. Now, with that being said, you would observe that we just talked about your ability to generate some form of income. And because you're able to generate some form of income, either through some form of sales or partnerships or sponsorships and all that, you will now begin to attract people who might begin to think that you are up to running a very good business. So, typically an investor will give you money and they're expecting just financial returns. But in this case, not only are they expecting financial returns, they're also expecting to see some good happen in the society. So they're expecting social returns. And some others are also expecting the environment to be better as a result of the financing that they gave to you. In that case, they're expecting some form of environmental returns. Now, these three things combined together: social impact, environmental impact, financial sustainability, or financial returns, these three contributes to what we call the triple bottom line. Triple bottom line, which means these are the core things, the core foundations of your activities. Okay, and the people who give you this money, They know maybe someone comes to you that, hey, I want to give you this cash. I want you to create this type of impact, but I also want some form of financial returns. In that case, what they are giving to you is what is called impact investment. So it is investment with impact. It's as simple as that. Okay. Now, congratulations. You won a grant for your fantastic organization that is cleaning the environment and all that. So typically, grants come in cash, US dollars, pounds, naira, whatever. But it always comes most times as cash or some payment for some other types of services. And you might also get some form of in kind contribution. Maybe someone says, okay, you know what? Um, you want to clean 10 communities in Sao Paulo or in Brazil, right? Or in Nigeria. And because you want to clean these 10 communities, you're going to need maybe 500 trucks. They're going to say, okay, we're going to provide you 500 trucks. So even though they have not given you cash, they're giving you what we call in kind contribution. And at the end of the day, you are the recipient, you're the applicant, you're the one receiving this funding, this support, this financing, these grants, these contributions. So usually we call you the applicant, the recipient, or in some cases you're called the principal investigator, like FBI. You're the one solving the social and environmental issues within your environment. Now, with that being said, I want to bring you back to the story of Mary and her parents. Remember, they live in your community. You are the social entrepreneur. You made it possible for the environment to become clean. And as a result, Mary's parents can now take very good care of her, you know, earn more money, buy more food, get her more toys without having to worry about, smoke in the atmosphere as a result of burning. In this case, Mary and her parents are called the beneficiaries. They are your beneficiaries because they are the people who benefit directly from your campaign or cause. So there are usually two types of beneficiaries. You have the direct beneficiaries, which are people who have been directly affected by that problem, and then you have indirect beneficiaries, which are people who may rely on the direct beneficiaries. Okay, so and then whoever gives you money, whoever is your funder, we typically call them donors or impact investors. I believe that if you understood this story, you would um, have grasped the basics of fundraising, and now you can begin to speak the language of fundraising. Now, before we wrap up, I have a short exercise for you to carry on. I want you to think about these two words: non-profit and not-for-profit. Non-profit organization and not-for-profit organization. They sound similar, but they are actually different. I want you to take out a few minutes to research the meaning of these two words. When you find the meaning, please go to our group and write out the meaning. Let's see who gets it right, and we're going to celebrate you during our live session. Okay? Now, to wrap this session up, I want to introduce you to two key concepts, two additional concepts. The concept of CSRO, which is called corporate social responsibility. You might have heard of it severally, but typically it really refers to companies, organizations making a commitment, to not just run their businesses responsibly or sustainably. They want to do it in such a way that they're able to make some form of social impact, environmental impact in the communities that they operate. So you see companies like Coca-Cola, Unilever, MTN, some of these fantastic companies, you see them engaging in CSR activities so that they are able to paint a good image in society. Finally, we cannot talk about the language of fundraising without referring to the Sustainable Development Goals. Almost every funder out there is going to ask you about how your campaign, how your cause, how your NGO, or how your business or social enterprise aligns or contributes to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. I will not be teaching you about the Sustainable Development Goals. You will take out some time to read about all 17 of them, and I'm giving you this assignment. Please identify the top three or four SDGs that are most aligned with your idea, with your project, with your business, and let us know about that. That is your second assignment for today. So, bringing everything together, why is fundraising important? Why is fundraising important? Why are we doing what we're doing? This is a really critical point to understand. Fundraising in itself, excuse me, is really the lifeblood of almost every organization. I usually post online on my social media, Facebook. I usually write that there are two ways money comes into an organization. Number one, sales, and number two, fundraising. And for non-profits, this is really important because they usually don't have some form of um, uh, profit generating mechanisms, right, or services. So in that case, they have to rely on some form of donors or impact investors to keep on giving them cash. So you see that fundraising is the lifeblood for non-profit organizations. And the reason that fundraising is important is because it helps you to sustain or manage your operations, pay your bills, ensure that you're financially sustainable. It helps you to deliver the impact that you promised from your campaign, and helps you to scale your campaign to multiple locations. So let's go into another case study. This is going to be our third case study. We started with Mary, and then we talked about your recycling business, and now we want to talk about Unilever. Unilever is one of the leading multinationals in the world. It's likely that within the last 1 month you've used one of their products. Either you use close up toothpaste to brush your teeth, Knorr to cook some nice meals, or you've used Sunlight, detergents to wash your clothes. So Unilever is an amazing company. I want you to also meet another company called Recyclers, being run by this fantastic lady called Billikis Adebi and her wonderful husband. They run this social enterprise in Lagos, and what they do is that they collect plastic waste from the environment. They aggregate the plastic waste in the bags, like you can see, and then they take this plastic waste to like some centers where they are gathered and then move to a site where they recycle the plastic waste and sell them off to recycling companies. So my question for you is this: what does Unilever and recyclers have in common? Think. What does Unilever, the multinational, and recyclers, a recycling social enterprise, what do they really, really have in common? I want to give you a few seconds to just think and reflect. Make your brain sweat. What do these two organizations have in common? Let me give you a hint. Aha! Can you see what they have in common? Both companies handle, you got it right, plastic waste. Unilever, for example, a number of their products, come wrapped up in plastic, in cellophanes and all sorts. And you would agree with me that they contribute a lot to, like the waste from their products contributes a lot to most of the plastic, or some, let me not say most, some of the plastics that you see in dump sites. All right. So now you can begin to see the connection that if Unilever's products that have been disposed improperly by consumers contributes to plastic pollution, and recyclers has a business that is focused on collecting that plastic, you would agree with me that these two organizations are ripe for a partnership. And they have actually partnered in Nigeria to collect 30,000 tons of plastic waste over the next 5 years. This is a fantastic partnership. And when we talk about social enterprise, this is the kind of things we want to see happen. Where a corporate organization finances, sponsors, a social enterprise to create the kind of impact they want to see within the society and within the environment. So, why is Unilever partnering with Recyclers, a smaller business? And how did Recyclers, a smaller organization, convince a multinational to partner with it? Number one, for Unilever, the incentive is that they want to be able to measure their contribution to the Sustainable Development Goals. Number two, they want to be able to say that they have done some form of CSRO, and in such a way, you begin to people begin to see Unilever in such a good light, and then they want to market a cause. They want to be able to talk about the fact that Unilever as an organization is contributing to the well being of the environment and the well being of society. And finally, of course, Unilever wants to show that they are a philanthropic organization and they don't do everything for money. With that being said, let's take a look at why Recyclers, an organization like this, like what do they have to gain from this type of partnership? You'll find that Recyclers is going to hit their triple bottom line: social, environmental, financial. And then through this type of collaboration, they'll be able to deliver their impact, scale their impact into multiple communities. And most importantly, they have money to cover their bills. As a result, they are now a more financially sustainable, you got it right, organization. All right. So, with that being said, let's talk about another type of organization, which is for-profit organizations, like the type that is a limited company or a social enterprise that is designed to make money. So, why is fundraising important to them? You remember I said for non-profit organization, fundraising is like blood or blood, right? But for-profit organization, fundraising is like a fuel, or fuel, whatever anyhow you want to pronounce it. Okay, let's focus on getting the job done. Yeah. So fundraising is really a fuel to expand the impact of for-profit businesses. Of course, it helps them to market the cause. Helps them to it could help you to inspire your employees to say, hey guys, we're not just here to make money, we're also here to help our communities to do some form of good. And finally, there are some customers like myself who tend to be socially conscious. Like we want to feel like when we buy a product, our money is doing something beyond just generating profit for a company. So, for example, Unilever, I have been a beneficiary of Unilever's programs. Idea Trophy years back. I think we are the first cohort in Nigeria. I was one of the regional champions. My team from Nigeria, we were one of the first regional champions ever in Unilever Idea Trophy. Then I also won a prize from Unilever, the Unilever Sustainable Living Young Entrepreneurs Award, where Unilever took me on a trip to the UK. They hosted me at Buckingham Palace with Prince Charles, who is now the King of England. Um, I had the opportunity of meeting him, shaking his hands, having a short conversation at Buckingham Palace, and they sent me on the course to Oxford University. Was it? No, 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 not Oxford. Sorry, University of Cambridge. And when I think about the impacts, that Unilever had on me, it's massive. I also had the opportunity to meet with Paul Pullman, the CEO of Unilever globally, and also some of the top Unilever staff. So when I think about the contribution that Unilever has made to my life as an entrepreneur, it's massive, right? It's massive. So this is why people, for-profit businesses, take fundraising serious because they want to expand their CSR, they want to market the cause, and they want to be philanthropic. Now, I'm done with what I have to teach you for today. Here is an assignment for you to take home. I want you to research one local or international fundraising campaign that resonates with you, that resonates with your organization, that resonates with a project that you want to launch. This is your assignment. I want you to take on this assignment. So I've given you 3 assignments. I've given you the assignment to research this. I've also asked you to do 2 other things. which you will see in this video. And I look forward to hearing about your ideas. So please share them on the group or through the Google form, whichever is most convenient for you. So to wrap up today, you've learned about what fundraising is. I said fundraising is a process. It's a process to attract capital designed to pay the bills for a specific project. Number two, we've looked at the language of fundraising. We've talked about social and environmental challenges, triple bottom line, social impact, CSR, who donors are, campaigns and causes, what a principal investigator means and all that. So we've talked about that. And we've also talked about why fundraising is important and what are the benefits of fundraising. Okay. I talked about how fundraising helps you to deliver impact, helps you to build financial sustainability in your organization and helps you to scale your impact into multiple communities. So like we say, I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you that you have grasped the basic of fundraising. I look forward to our conversation tomorrow. Watch out for our next video. Tomorrow is going to be mind blowing. I'll be teaching you about the type of fundraising, how to navigate the fundraising landscape, and with that, your eyes will be big like mine, and you will be able to, begin to put in place the right foundation, the right pillars for a successful fundraising journey. Talk to you tomorrow and have a fantastic day. Cheers.
All right. So we're going to pause here. Any questions so far? Was it clear? Very clear. All right. How many of you want to take? How many of you want to take blessings course? How many of you want to take his course? He basically has a school for fundraising, and especially designed for those that are involved in NGOs, social enterprise, and then also businesses as well. And it's going to really give you hands-on on how to go about fundraising. Praise God. Yeah, so he's an expert. He's an expert in that field. I mean, today is just to give you the introduction of what it's about. Some of you want to take the course. Huh? His course are simple, right? Communicate very simple, right? Now, to take the course costs 10,000 naira. Very affordable. The 10-day course, yeah. And the course will be...
Welcome to day 2 of the...
Is everything okay? And then the course, by the way, all those of you that are online, bye-bye. Again. So remove me online. I want to talk.